What's up, guys and gals? It's your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys another Movember review for the month of November. And this is currently chapter 1065 of the next piece of One Piece, entitled The Six Faces of Vegapunk. And, yeah, it's a chapter. I'm more excited for next chapter. Next week will be really good. Because this is something that was theorized before, and I sort of suspected some of it. I've never personally brought it up, so I'm not going to try to claim him a W of any regard, right? I'm not going to do that. But this is something, if you've read enough, films and stuff like that, if you've read enough films, if you've seen enough films, read enough books, fantasy, sci-fi, especially video games, then the idea of an advanced civilization that has been lost and now they're trying to find the technology again. Well, that's been done quite often. Even if it's magical advancement, look no further than the epic The Lord of the Rings. The further you go in the ages, the more advanced some things get, and the less advanced some things get, right? So, even as far back as that, not even using technology, but in general, it's been done many, many times. And I'm not unhappy with it. Because actually, in all honesty, you know how it makes sense? It actually makes a lot of sense. They always said, Vegapunk is a man who is so far advanced, he's got so much brain power that he's 500 years in the future. 5 whole centuries. That seems a little excessive. I know it's One Piece and it's wacky, but that seems a little excessive. You know what makes a lot more sense? The man knows all about the kingdom, that name cannot be spoken, from the Void Century. And as we see, he has been able to recover and restore lost technology. Doesn't make him not a genius, but it explains why he's supposedly so advanced. The blueprints were there, he had to fix and restore, right? So, in all honesty, I like that ending part of the chapter. That's really cool. And it's Luffy, Jinbei, and Chopper and Bonnie who discover that particular thing. They see, the big Viking Megazord sort of idea. It's like, how can something this advanced be here? And that kind of idea, right? But the rest of the chapter, honestly, as I said before, I don't care about going to Spaceland in One Piece. I don't really. Unless we literally go to space on the Thousand Sunny as a spaceship, and we go to the moon, and we go to Mars, and we go to all these places, One Piece in space doesn't bother me. It's like Power Rangers in space. But having a futuristic island holds no... Okay, so we're doing a Futurama episode. We're doing a Rick and Morty episode. Whatever, however you want to look at it. We're doing the Jetsons. The Jetsons in One Piece. Great, an island for the Jetsons. An island for Dr. Robotnik to have a field day. And I'm just not that interested. So, and I've made that clear. And once again, that doesn't make this chapter bad. I just don't have a whole lot of an opinion on it. I'm going to be interested in the lore next week. That's clearly about the fact that what has been theorized before by other people, and it's been an inkling in the back of my mind, has now been confirmed that Vegapunk's not so far advanced. It's that the kingdom wasn't exactly, it's an ancient kingdom, but it had the power of technology. It had advanced technology. It probably... airplanes and all that stuff, and futuristic stuff, as you saw, the mechas and this, that, and the other thing, right? So that's a nice twist. It's a good twist. And I'm accepting that twist much better than the time-traveling samurai. When that first dropped, nobody liked that idea. Nobody liked the time-traveling samurai idea. I think a lot more people will be happy that we're going to get information not only on the Ancient Kingdom and the Void Century, but the fact that it easily explains how Dr. Vegapunk creates all this stuff from a more primitive world, right? So, a lot of information just in that last panel. But yeah, we get to meet the other faces of Vegapunk, and once again, don't really care. I don't need 6 Vegapunk characters. I really don't. I needed to meet the one, and now we have 6. And whatever. I don't really care about that necessarily. And then also, and this is why I've seen people making videos like, is this going too slow? Is this how we wanted it? Is this showcasing the end? Like, a lot of people are worried about the last couple of chapters of One Piece. Having the breaks, too, isn't helping because people are sitting on lukewarm chapters where they're not sure where this is going to go. And it's not just me, and I've been seeing more videos pop up on my feed asking if One Piece is starting to decline, you know? Like, if it's starting to go downhill. There's always worries after an arc. There's always worries. And I'm not that worried in that regard, but I'm seeing more and more than I ever saw after a Whole Cake. I'm seeing way more than I saw, after Dressrosa. So, in this particular instance, yeah, I'm not really sure how they're doing this. Thankfully, once again, got a couple of chapters, and now we're finally seemingly going to focus on the lore. Good. Next chapter, 1066, should focus completely on lore, new information that Robin is going to want to hear, so we, the readers, will hear it. Thank fuck. And that will probably make a lot of people's day. Was it cool to see Seraphim Jinbei? Sure. But we knew he existed. Is it cool to see him? Yeah. But it's, once again, it's a fight that doesn't do anything, has no consequences. We knew Seraphim Jinbei would be strong as shit, controlled by Vegapunk. We already knew that. Like, once again, it's adding nothing really to the story, and I think that's what the big problem is here. Sure, we're seeing this brand new island, but who really, other than guys like Tekking who just love the world building, and I love the world building too, but I don't really care about the ins and outs of Egghead Island. I don't. It's a futuristic city. It's from the Jetsons. I got it. I got it. I don't need now 2.5, 3 chapters explaining about the gravity boots and how to make the clouds work, and it's from the Skype idea, and then, now we have this technology, and we have the fast food microwave from Spy Kids. I just don't care about the ins and outs. I get it. It's futuristic. We don't need the details. Can we get to the lore? So maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. But that's my take on the chapter. Because nothing really happened in this chapter. Like, really. The beginning part with Caribou, fine dandy. You got the beginning part with Caribou and Zoro being like, yep, we're dropping you off. Have a good life. See ya. And Caribou's like, I'll get you gadgets. And then once again, they go they follow Lilith. They fight Seraphim Jinbei. It doesn't do anything, just to show off Seraphim Jinbei. The fact that none of the strong Straw Hats are fucking there. So, because Jinbei and Luffy aren't there, and Zoro's on the ship, and stuff like that. No, I'm being a little cruel to the Sanji fans and stuff like that. But the fact that we're seeing Seraphim Jinbei kick the shit out of most of the crew, and I'm not convinced that he wouldn't take a couple with him. Yeah, there's definitely that. And then once again we finally meet the last one, the Shaka or whatever, and he talks about what if I told you? He's doing that classic line. He's doing the what if I told you? The world So yeah, it was a chapter. I'm much more excited for 1066. I'll be more excited with One Piece when we actually get brand new information from questions we've had for years. Because that was the point of meeting Vegapunk in the first place. So, not to find out that he's burning fossil fuels and he wants to build his own sun. I do not care if Vegapunk wants to do that. I do not care. That has nothing to do with One Piece as far as I'm concerned. I do not care about Vegapunk's lab. I don't care. I want to know what information and lore he has. But I don't care about the ins and outs of his lab. That's just me. So, it was a chapter this week. 5 out of 10. Because it wasn't bad, it wasn't good, it was there. So, average at best. What did you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section down below. I'm losing lighting anyway, so let's wrap this up. Have a good Movember, and we'll see you guys back here next time. Drink responsibly, yada, yada, yada. And, I don't know, have a good weekend. There. Bye-bye.